the hell, Dad?
I had a feeling you'd be back. So you're gunning for me too, huh?
Really? Replacing you in that chair, that's a big thing on my mind right now.
Probably isn't.
What else don't I know? Douglas isn't your son. Am I even your daughter?
Well, you must be. Because anyone else I would have thrown out of my office for asking that question.
They can't still be talking about you, me, and Douglas, right?
I don't really think it's a quick conversation.
Yeah, even Dad's not that long-winded. I mean, if he was finished telling the story of Douglas' paternity, people would be looking for us.
How did Ridge justify keeping it from Thomas for so long?
Well, every 10 years or so, he gets cornered into saying, I made a mistake, and that's supposed to be good enough. Hey, is anyone home?
The car wasn't out there.
Well, wait. I want to see my dad address Ridge when he lets him know that he's out as CEO.
You think he will?
You didn't see my dad's face. All the blood drained from it. You know, he never wanted Ridge to run the company. But now he's got all the reasons to reinstate this guy.
Who is it?
Could we work up to the hard questions?
Are you all right?
No.
Did somebody die?
I don't want to see anybody who wants to see me. Can knowing something you didn't know qualify as an event? Can the world seem like a completely different place even after only 5 words? That's not water.
No, I thought martinis were your drink. I promise to have olives next time.
A problem at work, that's all it is. That's all I'm going to let it be.
At Forrester, that also makes it a family problem.
The CEO position is in play again.
Ridge is stepping down?
It's not his decision, it's mine. Do I leave him in place? Do I reinstate Rick? Or is it Steffi's turn this time around?
I'll accept the same terms, same salary. I'm not going to have my dad grovel. What?
I just know you've been disappointed before, Rick.
This is different. Ridge tried to force us out by way of scandal that never materialized. I had to beg you to come back, but this, son has child by way of mother-in-law. Father tries to pass it off as his own. I mean, this has got dog Forrester for a long time. Even Ridge has to see that.
Hey. You worried?
Just that nothing seems very clear.
True. The old version of Douglas' paternity was a lot simpler. Do you hate me for insisting that we tell the truth?
You know I don't.
You may yet. I mean, the facts of the story do something very different for my reputation than they do for yours. And then there's Dad's.
What did you even think you were doing? You were punishing Thomas.
I'm protecting my wife. And I've said it, and I'm gonna say it again because I guess no one can hear me.
She wasn't your wife. Not when my when my nephew was conceived. It's not like she hooked up with some random guy at the bar. Thomas dated Caroline before you
When
said
Thomas showed up at that hotel room, it wasn't a date. And I think we're both aware of the reputation my son has of getting what he wants from a
Dad,
woman.
you have
What?
a reputation too for breaking up with girls when you feel cornered. I'm sorry. So what, did you think that she was gonna feel like you were less of a man if you got a vasectomy? I don't know. What's the deal?
He gave her something that I couldn't. And it was one thing that you wanted more than anything in the world. So right or wrong, how do you think that makes me feel?
Okay, I'm in no position to judge.
Of course you are. Because everybody is. Just keep in mind that the harshest judgment of all is gonna come from me.
The great-grandson you never knew about. How I wish you were here to see how this all unfolded. But of course you would have found a reason to excuse Ridge. You always did. He was your pride and joy. But I'll tell you something, Stephanie. Dad won't.
I thought Stephanie was very conservative.
That's just something she wanted people to believe. She never really fit into any sort of category easily. I'll tell you something else. She was a bit of a monster. And just sitting on her porch puts me on edge.
Okay, my curiosity can't take it anymore. They're still here.
Well, anything we left you can take.
No. It's a stack of condolence cards and letters that people sent Eric after Stephanie died. As my first job as lady as the house, I felt like I needed to find a place for everything that he didn't want to deal with, you know? So I figured he didn't want to see these first thing every morning, but that they should be within reach in this room when he wanted them.
You miss it here, don't you? Living here.
Your mother's house is beautiful.
Yeah, but she's the mistress of the manor. You were that here.
I did love it. I loved everything about it. Our relationship was young, and I was just experiencing my first success as a model. You were having your first big success as CEO. My sister and I were reunited here, and then look at what that led to. My portrait was over the mantle, which completely embarrassed me, but it also made me feel proud. It made me feel loved. And of course, our wedding was here.
We'll get it all back. I promise.
I don't feel like I lost anything. I know you do. But this house has a different meaning for you. You were head of the company. You were sleeping in what used to be your father's bedroom.
Yeah, I was never very good as head of the family. But I would be better now.
Hey. All I'm saying is, you do whatever you have to do for yourself. But I never, ever want you to think that I feel shortchanged, because I have everything that I have ever wanted to have. And all I want is more. More of this life with you and our daughter and our work and our big, ridiculous, messy family.
Everyone's gone? How'd it go?
You look really pretty. You know, sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. Sometimes the truth just opens the door and leaves you vulnerable. I could have come up with a better story. Fell out of a helicopter over the Persian Gulf and lost my ability to father a child, and that's why we used my son as a donor. It's a good one.
Yeah, but it's not what happened.
No. It's not a child, is it? It's yours. With Thomas.
Thomas.
How mad are you? I'm a dad.
Yeah. A closet dad until today. How could you not tell me?
I had no idea until recently.
Yeah, that's right. Dad was temporarily insane.
Yeah. Things got a lot worse before they got better.
But still, you would tell me all these gory details of all of your relationships, but you said nothing about Caroline.
Trust me, this happened in an entirely different universe than my love life.
You know, let's make a mental note to upgrade that fireplace. I don't really want to get any of that smoke film on your portrait when it goes back up there.
Rick.
Ridge is gonna go slinking out of here with his tail between his legs. And then he's gonna leave Caroline if she hasn't left him already.
No. Why? He would have known about her and Thomas since she told him she was pregnant, right?
Because everybody knows the woman who was unfaithful to me was unfaithful to him with his own son. His imaginary dignity would never be able to tolerate it.
God, it's such a mess. I almost feel sorry for them.
Oh, no, don't feel any sympathy for him. He feeds on it. Lord knows I'm not gonna give him any sympathy, and neither will my father.
Steffi's young.
Yeah, but she's sharp. And Rick was just about the best CEO I've ever seen. And he's going to expect to get his job back.
Well, he can certainly hold his own against Ridge when it comes to swagger. So, Ridge is leaving, huh?
It may be best for him to step out of the public eye for a while.
Oh, let me guess. Conduct not becoming a forester.
I've been guilty of that myself so often, including possibly this very moment, that I hate to stand in judgment, but I hate that I have to play favorites. I hate that I have to choose.
So then don't. Why shouldn't the CEO be you?
Dad said he needed some more time.
Look, I am always gonna want you to have what you want. You know that. But we both know that Eric doesn't like to make changes unless he has to.
Well, he has to. Two men, father and son, betting the same woman. My dad would never be able to wrap his mind around it. It would just remind him of when Ridge destroyed our family. He needs to get it out of his mind and out of his sight. Ridge's lies have finally got up with him.
Thomas isn't asking for anything other than to just be recognized. That's it.
Yeah, he wants to replace me as CEO, too.
Rick seriously isn't using this to try and take your job.
Well, that's not a shocker. We knew that was going to happen.
Eric won't listen to him. He won't let that happen.
I know about that. Right now, it's all about what's real and what isn't. Fathers and sons. If he thinks about it, he's going to know that he's not the real father, and I'm not the real son.
So what? You feel validated now?
I feel honest now. Why are you doing that? Why don't you approve?
I just don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know what you want.
I know exactly what I want. I want to be a father in my son's life, and I got that today.
Biologically, you're his father. But our dad has been raising him.
Exactly. I didn't even get a choice in that. Steph, I just want you to be happy for me and trust that Dad, me, and Caroline, we can figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, you know, sure, it would be easier if I just had this sense that you thought this through. You know, the first thing out of Rick's mouth was that Granddad should replace Dad with him.
Why is that even on your mind? Why does that surprise you about Rick? He's like an action figure running around saying, oh, look at me, who should be CEO? I should be CEO.
He whined himself into this before.
Big deal. It's not like he can be any harder on me than Dad already was.
What about me?
What about you? You and Rick coexist fine.
No. Me as CEO, I mean. Don't look so shocked. Why not?
You're the lone voice of authority everybody there respects.
Why would I want to work that hard?
So redefine. Make your job description only the things that you like to do.
Okay. But what if the things I like to do aren't the things that I do that well anymore? I don't design the way they do. Caroline's work jumps off the page. It leaps off the shelves and out of the stores.
But don't do Caroline. Do you. You trained Ridge. Ridge trained Caroline, and I saw the work that you were putting out this past year. It was effortless and elegant and so grown up. You need to trust it. You can't be this good and not know it, so stop being modest. You built this business, so take it back.
Maybe Eric's not home yet because he's not ready to have the conversation you want to have with him yet. Hey, Lizzie's gonna need to be fed and put down for the night soon.
Jennifer can handle that.
I haven't missed a night yet, honey.
It's been kind of nice just having the place to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Like we never left.
And when we move back in, we never will.
I love you. And wherever you are is home to me.
So that's your plan? You're gonna grab all my stuff, and what are we doing?
Going home. You did what you came to do. So now we're gonna go home. Because replaying it over and over, it's not helping.
Playing it. You didn't see my dad. He was...
Yeah, but everybody's just gonna need a little time to adjust their thinking. What we did, it wasn't so terrible. And the worst of it ended today. And when you think about it, what's really changed? No one got hurt. And we're all the same people.
We're not the same people. Everything's changed. Just don't know to what yet.
Honestly, I like my job, and I'm in no hurry to push Dad out the door. But if something were to happen, I don't know why it's not obvious to anyone that the next person in line is the company president, not Rick.
Wouldn't that be a little strange publicity-wise?
Why?
Well, because our last PR stunt was Steffi Forrester and her fiance, Liam Spencer, going around, VP and president, you know, running the company.
People have short memories.
Yeah, maybe. People who aren't you.
I remember everything.
Exactly. So isn't it a little weird that you're married to the son of the whole reason that this came tumbling down in the first place?
You know I put Quinn on notice.
Yeah, and that's worked so well for you in the past.
Wyatt understands. Quinn has to keep her distance, or I'm gonna
It's gonna cause problems for you and Wyatt.
You don't actually have to do anything right now. You can let Ridge stay where he is. He's slightly less hated than Rick is, and I don't see either of them answering to Steffi. But then again, I don't know what Ridge's transgression was.
You know, they call Ridge King Ridge.
Yeah, I know.
They used to call his mother Queen Stephanie.
Well, her namesake takes after her.
You know how King Midas, everything King Midas touched turned to gold? Well, everything Ridge touches becomes his. He's very acquisitive. He needs to have his hands slapped once in a while.
Well, I still say father knows best.
Sometimes I see myself in the mirror and I think I'm not old enough to be anybody's father. But there are days like today when I feel like my life hasn't even happened to me yet. And that the reason I was born is going to become clear to me any moment now. When I got in the car today, I wasn't going to come here.
Okay. Okay, so what is that about? Exactly, if you don't mind my asking. Because you gave me your key back, and you told me this was over more than once. And I'm not gonna make a fuss because that's not who I am, and I'm never gonna turn you away from my door, but I don't think you came here today just to talk. So in order for me not to get the wrong idea, maybe I need to understand what the wrong idea is. Because a girl could have feelings. And if you want this to be over, maybe we should be over